Welcome to the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network, a weekly broadcast sponsored by CVC Coaching, hosted each week by industry speaker, coach, author, and educator Jerry Eisenhower. Our presentations are produced to assist business owners and managers in turning their business dreams into their business realities. And now, here's your host, Jerry Eisenhower.
And I want to welcome you once again to the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network. This is our podcast that's sponsored every episode by the CVC Success Group. And what is the CVC Success Group? It's a team of subject matter experts that assist our clients in going to their business dreams, and making them their realities. And we've got a great team of people to help you in all phases of your business, no matter if it's sales, if it's coaching, if it's training, whatever. You need someone to send into your office to work on your office systems. That's Brandy Biswell. If you need someone to work with you on your hiring, hey, that's Cheryl Eisenhower. If you need someone to work with you on your communication, having those difficult conversations, that's Aaron Marcus. And the list goes on with Bob Wise doing gas training. But this week, I got a new member of our team is going to join us. And his name is Donovan Blanks. And Donovan comes to us out of the chimney and hearth industry. He's worked at several different companies, and I've been looking for somebody that can fill this role, and reached out to Donovan a few weeks ago and said, hey, I'm looking for someone that can do RideALong training, and if you're ever interested, I want you to let me know. And his answer was, I'm interested. Let's talk further. So at that point, Donovan and I and Cheryl, we got together. We spent a day together at our offices here in Concord, North Carolina. And at the end of the day, we had everything set up to do his rollout, introduce him to the industry, and start having people know what he could do. So at this point, Donovan is now on our team here. He can be reached at Donovan at CVC Success Group. So let's get rolling with the podcast. So Donovan, are you out there ready to join me today, brother?
I am, Jerry. I am here and ready to discuss the topics.
That is wonderful. So, hey, I got some questions here because the best thing I figured is we could ask this. So the first one I'm going to ask is, Donovan, because this is what other people are going to say. Just who is Donovan Blanks? Just who is Donovan Blanks? And what makes him a guy that I would want to bring into my company to train my people? So Donovan, let's address that question. Just who is Donovan Blanks?
Jerry, I love that question. I had to answer it to myself. And the best thing I could come up with was I'm a top tier sales professional that's worked in the general contracting industry, remodeling. I switched over into the hearth and fireplace industry, continued as a top performer, a leader to the team around me. I advanced into all the certifications very quickly. Got my CSIA chimney sweep certificate very quickly within 100 days. Got my CDET certification in less than 15 days after that. And got all three certificates from the NFI gas wood and pellet, making me a NFI master hearth professional in just under 18 months in the industry. So I moved along and advanced through that rather quickly, all while producing at a high level with profitable contracts that I brought back in for the companies I worked for.
Sounds great, brother. So let's get started into the meat of this. So the first thing I want to address in there, and here's my question to you, just what is ride-along training? What do you do when you ride along with someone in a training mode? This is not a classroom. This is where you get in the truck with the service technician and you go to the homes or the job sites with them, and you're doing, so tell me a little bit about what you do during a ride-along training experience.
Another great question, Jerry. It's a lot like it sounds. I'm riding along with the technician, and I'm going out and observing them working in their everyday atmosphere, watching them go through their presentations, their introductions, their service, and evaluating them on several different points. And after we get done with a service, I do what I call a debriefing, and I discuss all the positives, the negatives, and the places where we can improve in between the services with the technician. And I highlight I like to accentuate the positives, but make sure that they know about what they're doing wrong or what they can be doing better, and guide them towards giving a better presentation each and every time that we go out that day. And then at the end of the day, I do a complete debriefing on the entire day, a longer sit down and discussing all, again, the positives, negatives, where places to improve, and building what I call a custom progress report sheet for them on things to work on over the next week, over the next 2 weeks, over the next month, so they know exactly what they need to do and what they need to work on to make themselves better. And of course, then I debrief the company on what I saw with each technician, and then I continue to work with them after I'm gone. I make myself available to do follow-up phone calls and do reports with them. And touch base with me in a week and tell me how you feel about the progress you made. Then let's talk in another 2 weeks, and we're going to discuss your progress again. And we're gonna work on those things that are tough for you, and we're gonna congratulate you on the things that you're doing right, and we're gonna continue to build that confidence and that authority with the technician as we work with them.
Got you covered. So here's a question, and I'm going to pose it to you just like I was a listener out there listening to this podcast. And my question would be, Donovan, but I got some new guys. They're green. How can you help them?
Boy, you're just coming up with one question after another that are great, Jerry. The new guys, I think, are in a lot of ways easier to work with. They don't have the bad habits that seasoned technicians have. They're brand new, and they're trying to follow the standard operating procedures as best they can. And I've got the experience in the field, having been a working technician, going out and doing the sweeps, the inspections, the report writing, and the estimating, to guide them towards doing it the right way, and the right way being in conjunction with industry standards and with company standards. So we guide them down that path of building positive, good habits and doing the good things over and over again, and building good results over and over again. And eventually it becomes habit, and they become, superstar technicians, and they just keep doing it. And the sky's the limit for a new guy. It's a fantastic opportunity for me to get a hold of them and mold them and shape them and just keep pushing them in the right direction.
Okay, so let's come from another aspect. I got a bunch of guys that have been here for years. They're set in their ways. How are you going to change these guys?
Boy, there's the toughest one. That's the guy that nobody wants to deal with. That's the guy that you're like, hey, we're just going to deal with him being the way he is. It takes a little bit more time, takes a little bit more effort, but the results can be the same as progressing into superstars and building better and better, performance out of them. The one thing that I do is I challenge guys that have been on the job for a long time a little bit more than I would a green guy. Challenge them to understanding their codes and their standards a little bit more. And once you build that knowledge relationship between the two of you, The question becomes, is this as good as you want to be, or do you have bigger goals and aspirations for yourself? And challenging that individual to better themselves. You've been on this job for a while. Why aren't you the benchmark for the company? If you are the benchmark for the company, can you set a higher benchmark for the company? And that comes in the relationship building process between me and that technician. Can we get on the same playing field and exchange knowledge back and forth? And when that technician realizes that, hey, this guy and I have almost similar knowledge bases, why can't I perform at his level? And then we start breaking it down to changing those bad habits and rebuilding good habits, and just doing the little things throughout the process that build long-lasting relationships with the client. Everything I do, whether it's working with the owner in the company, working with the managers, working with the technicians, or working with the customers, it's all about building a long-lasting relationship. And we do that through trust, respect, honesty, and we just keep moving forward, and we keep building that long-lasting relationship, and it continues to be the best way to provide service of any kind, whether it be RideALong sales, whether it be power washing houses, whether it's painting, whether it's chimney service. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's service oriented, we want to provide the best service possible, and we do that by building long relationships. And so we just carry it over in different phases, and eventually that guy's going to change, and he's going to get better, and he's going to see the opportunities, and he's going to challenge himself, or he's going to fall off. And it's really kind of a rubber meets the road kind of deal for a lot of the guys.
Got you covered, man. So again, I'm thinking just like the guy that's listening to this podcast right now, Donovan. I'm thinking what's going through his mind. And this is probably one of the thoughts that I've heard people say. And this is what they say: I've tried and tried. I cannot get my techs to follow my processes and procedure. Just how in the world do you think you're going to accomplish this, as this is a really big challenge for me as their boss? After all, I'm the guy that pays them. How are you going to make this happen, Donovan?
Boy, I don't know which one's tougher, this one or the previous one. But sometimes we as the owner, and let me back up a second. I've been the owner of a company with employees and subcontractors, and I've been the employee underneath supervisors and owners and managers. And the best leaders lead by example. And a lot of times it's tough for us as the business owner, at least it was for me, to lead by example a lot of times. I wanted to lead by authority and verbally lead you and tell you what you needed to do instead of showing you what you needed to do. So bringing an outside source in like myself and building the authority. If the owner builds the authority in me, then I can build the authority in the owner, and we build another relationship. Believe it or not, we're just going to build another relationship here. We're going to build some authority in each other, and that person's going to start listening and start paying attention and understand that there's a culture change coming. That this is about culture. This is about the culture of the company and the direction in which we're moving. This isn't about who's paying us. This isn't about who's in control or barking orders. This is about working together as a team, and that's one of the big things that I like to provide is that triangle, being part of the triangle between the employee and the owners and managers, and building that triangle and that relationship into a nice, strong team, and moving forward and getting on past that stuff and making superstars out of companies and employees.
Okay, so listen, man, I got a copy of that little book you wrote about something called the no selling sales process. And what you're telling me is if you come in and work with my guys, you can teach them how to make more sales, how to make higher sales, how to get my profits up. So tell me more about that. How are you going to do that, Donovan?
Again, you just keep hitting me with one good question after another. And thank you for reading my book. So again, I focus on the relationship building. I focus on providing a quality service and a quality experience for the customer. And that revolves around, again, the relationship building process. It starts with trust, respect, and honesty. And we do little things along the way, from the phone call leading up to arriving at the house, to our arrival at the house, our door presentation, our appearance, little things we do across the way. You'll see some of those on my daily tidbits, just the little bits and pieces. How we perform the service, how we write the report, and how we present the estimate when it's all said and done. It builds an opportunity for us to gain their trust and respect. And we have an opportunity to make it so valuable to them to do business with us that they can't imagine doing business with anybody else. And we can only do that through this step system. And through that relationship building process, we're never selling anything. We're offering ourselves, we're making ourselves available, we're offering expert knowledge, we're offering expert service, and we're offering expert repairs and work if they need it. And again, it's the value selling, which means we don't sell. We just build the relationship, and it's impossible for some of these people to imagine doing business with somebody else. So I turned $1.25 million in sales in a 10-month period, and I never once asked for a contract. I never once applied any kind of pressure to a customer. I never once tried to overcome their objections at the end of the presentation. I built a relationship. I didn't face the objections, and my customers just couldn't imagine having somebody else do the work. So that's my plan, instilling that into the technicians and just making them a better producer by stopping the selling process.
Okay, and you mentioned you mentioned some of your training tidbits. So let's tell people where to find that at. That's one of the features of our CVC Basecamp, which is our online virtual education platform, where we have about almost 300 daily training tidbits put together. So at this point, I think you've recorded either 6 or 7 of these that have been uploaded. Would that sound right?
That's if that's not right, it's within one.
Okay, so one of the things you can do is, you guys that want to see and hear Donovan, here's the thing that CVC Success Group is offering to you, which is we will give you a free 1-month subscription to our entire platform. It's loaded up with certification training, preparation training, sales, technical. Donovan, you were one of my students on here before you came to work with me. How helpful is the Basecamp to you?
It was the difference maker in taking my performance to the next level. I went from doing I think I did about 300,000 in contracts in my first 6 months, and then did 1.25 million in the subsequent 12 months following, getting locked in to the CVC platform and engaging at full blast.
Good.
I got my vocabulary there. I got my terminologies there. I watched chimney diagnostics and repairs, I believe, 6 or 7 times in full. And that wealth of knowledge that you're passing on is priceless. It's got me sitting where I'm sitting today. I can tell you that much.
Got you covered. Well, I just want to put that down, because if people wonder how I got to know Donovan, it was from watching him on the platform and how engrossed he was into our training. So that's another resource for you. So Reach out to us if you'd like to try it for 1 month. Hey, it's a free offering to you. No obligation, no charge, no credit card. We'll just give you a 1 month free subscription. So if you haven't gotten this yet, think about doing it because there's a lot on there. So Donovan, let's go back to the questions. Why did you decide to make a career change from being a technician to becoming a ride-along trainer? What was your reasoning for this?
The number one reason was to be able to spend more time with my daughter. I had moved away from her mother and her, and after about 60 days at the job I was in, I realized I wasn't going to be able to get back to see her more than about once or twice every 6 months, and it was going to be for a day and a half at a time. I knew I had to get back home, and I knew I had to spend as much time with her and be around on the weekends. And when you reached out to me and said, "Hey, Donovan, I'd like you to discuss this with me and think about it," it was a no-brainer because teaching, guiding, training, molding has been a dream of mine for a long, long time prior to getting into this industry. It's what I've always wanted to do. I had envisioned myself being a part of the training industry for a long time. So you brought a dream scenario in two ways to me, where I could be home on the weekends with my daughter and I could do what I truly wanted to do in teaching and training. So it was a no-brainer, and I said, let's do it. Let's move forward, and let's create as many me's as I can.
Okay. So CVC Success Group, it was the right choice for you. You feel like we provide the best programs in the industry right now, Donovan?
Hands down.
Good. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to come up in this. So Donovan, if someone wants to get in touch with you, interested in talking, there's no charge for that conversation, guys and gals. Hook up with him, set up a call, and from that point, discuss what your fears are, discuss what your frustrations are, and let's see if Donovan can be an asset for you. So Donovan, tell them how to get in touch with you, please, sir.
My telephone number is 316-250-2655. That's 316-250-2655. And they can always email me, Donovan@cvcsuccessgroup.com.
Yeah. And if you go onto our website, you will find there's a page there under our instructors and coaches. You can pull up, you'll see Donovan, give you a little bit of his background. There's a couple videos there that he can talk to you about who's Donovan Blanks and what his process is and how he works. So get in touch with him, guys and gals. Donovan's, anything you want to add to this before we back out of here today?
Only one thing, don't forget that I do have the condensed version of the no sales process as an accredited CEU accredited course on the base camp as well.
There you go. So you can get this education for free for a 30-day trial, guys and gals. So think about signing up for that. All it takes is reach out to us, let us know. We'll have you hooked up to hundreds of courses, and we'll have you hooked up within minutes of once we receive it. As soon as we're at a computer, we'll get you all set up, take you through how to do it, how to set it up, and we look forward to being you on that program with us. So we're going to end this session of the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network. We appreciate Donovan taking some time out of his day to go through this and explain what his processes are. If you're interested, he's giving you his information. Reach out to him, let him know you want to set up a call and go and get moving on this, because I think Donovan's going to be a really busy boy the way the requests are starting to come in already. And with that, we're going to end this segment, this episode of the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network. Let us know here at CVC Success Group how we can help you turn your business dreams into your business realities. Thanks for joining us. As always, it's an honor, it's a pleasure, and it's a privilege to be able to speak to you like this. Talk to you next time. Follow us on Facebook. Stay in touch. Let us know how we can help you.
Thanks for joining us here each week at the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network, sponsored by CVC Coaching, providing you the coaching and educational outreach services you need to move to your dream destination in business and in life.